Welcome back to Total Performance Living. And today it's time for part 4 of my 5-part series, giving you an insight into some of the key principles that I take people through in my Total Performance Principles program. And today we're going to have a look at the 4th pillar of Total Performance Living, which is around nutrition. A massively hot topic. One of the biggest focuses for people to improve their health and well-being is their nutrition. Everyone's looking at what they're eating. Is it paleo? Is it keto? Is it carnivore? Is it veganism? Is it vegetarian? Are fats bad? Are fats good? What are my macros? Am I counting my calories? All of these things that obsess with the what around nutrition, which, yes, very important in terms of optimizing health and well-being. But the missing piece for a lot of people around optimizing nutrition is not so much around what they're eating, because fundamentally, most people know what is good quality nutrition. Whole foods, clean eating, good quality foods, people know what to eat. But what the missing piece for a lot of people is around one of the other elements that I talk about, which is how you are eating. Let me talk a little bit more about why that matters and how it plays into optimizing nutrition. So what I'm referring to there when we talk about the how of nutrition is it goes back to the principle that it's not what you eat that matters, it's what your body absorbs, i.e. what nutrients, vitamins, minerals, etc. is your body able to extract from what you're actually putting in your mouth. It doesn't matter how good your diet is, it doesn't matter how good the food is, how high quality it is, all this stuff you're eating, if your body's not able to actually digest, assimilate, absorb, and eliminate what it needs to actually get the most out of the food you're eating. And that's why how you eat has such a massive impact on your overall health and well-being as a key principle within your nutrition. Let me walk you through that a little bit deeper to explain the how of nutrition. There's 3 aspects to this. The first is the process of eating itself. For us to digest food effectively, we need to eat it correctly. What I mean by that is simply digestion starts the moment you put something in your mouth. If you don't chew, break it down, and allow the rest of the digestive system to break it down further, then it's not going to be able to do its job. If you don't chew thoroughly, break it down into its small component parts, that makes the rest of your digestive system do more work and makes it more unlikely to be able to break it down into the component parts that allow it to be absorbed into the body. So there's a process side of how we get the most out of nutrition. The second part though, which is probably less understood by people, is the setting component. And what I'm referring to there is that we now know that there is a strong link between what's going on in the brain and what's going on in the gut via the vagus nerve. It's the brain-gut connection. And what's going on up here is affecting what's going on down here and vice versa. There's a constant stream of two-way communication going on between the brain and the gut. And why that matters from a digestion perspective and a how we're eating perspective is that when we're actually consuming food, when we're going through the process of eating, the inputs that we're taking in, whether it be information, people around us, the situation that we're in, it's all affecting the ability of the stomach to actually do what it needs to do from a digestion perspective, right down to the level of the neurotransmitters that are being secreted, the gastric juices that are being secreted, the actual function of the stomach and the various parts of the digestive system are all compromised or impacted by the inputs that are going on. So as an example, if you're sitting there eating your food, having your meal, and you're sitting at work in a really stressful situation, hovered over your desk, checking emails, all these stressful inputs coming in, reading stressful emails, that's going to compromise the ability of your body to actually digest effectively the food that you're consuming. Similarly, if you're watching a show or watching TV and it's highly stressful or excites you, or it's, you're watching sport and you're getting excited, that's going to have a physical effect on what's going on for your digestive system and compromise your digestion. So the second part around the how is the process and then also the setting, which is the second part. And the third part is around more of the attitude or the approach that you take to food. Nutrition is not just about the consumption of food itself. It's designed to be an experience. It's designed to be an experience that we enjoy, that we relish, and that we ideally share with other people when we can. So if we're looking at how we eat, if we're constantly isolated, if we're stressed about the food that we're eating, if we're worried about the impact it's going to have on our body, if we're constantly counting calories, if we're thinking about food from a purely functional perspective, all of these things that create more of a stress around the eating experience or make us feel more isolated around the idea of nutrition and eating food, that's going to also impact our digestion, because once again, what's going on in the brain is linked to what's going on in the gut. What's going on in the gut is linked to what's going on in the brain. So if our attitude around food is one of functionality, isolation, stress, and denying ourselves, that's going to impact the ability for us to get the most out of our food, regardless of how high quality the food is that we're consuming. So there you have it, an insight into the how aspect of nutrition as one of the 3 key principles that I teach people in the Total Performance Principles program, demonstrating to you that it's not just all about the best possible diet, eating the cleanest foods, having an amazing diet, and eating quality foods, because it doesn't matter how good your diet is, it doesn't matter how good the foods you are that you're eating, if you don't have an ability for your body to digest, assimilate, and absorb what you're eating, none of that matters. You'll never be as healthy as you can be, and in fact, you'll probably get more frustrated, confused, and upset at the fact that you're doing all the right things with your diet from a what perspective, but something's missing in that chain. And what's missing in that chain could be how you're eating.